Hello, this is Sonja from My Happy Space. Welcome back at my channel. I'm going to do a Bible journaling entry today, and I'm journaling in Psalm 100. As you know, I'm going for the Psalms this year, and recently I just sort of studied the Psalm, and it just struck me. I've read the Psalm many times before, but it just struck me that there's a few points that stood out really for me in the Psalm. Four elements which I want to document today. And I'm just quickly going to read it to you. It's the Psalm is "Shout with joy to the Lord, all the earth. Worship the Lord with gladness. Come before him singing with joy. Acknowledge that the Lord is God. He made us, and we are his. We are his people, the sheep of his pasture. Enter his gates with thanksgiving. Go into the courts with praise. Give thanks to him and praise his name. For the Lord is good. His unfailing love continues forever, and his faithfulness continues to each generation." So as you see now here, I've got some Maggie Holmes Printables, just roses and butterflies. So I want to put that down when I sort of emphasize the four elements that stood out for me in this passage. At the moment, I want to give it a sort of a rose background. I've got this beautiful rose stencil, and I've got this gelato. I think it's ice rose is the color of the gelato. I just dipped the brush in a little bit of water, and I've just made it slightly wet, and I'm just gently tapping it around. So I just want to get a gentle background of the roses. I just thought it would have looked a little bit sort of bare if I didn't have a background, and it turned out very well. I was at one stage a bit uncertain should I do it, but yeah, it turned out very well, and I like the soft effect of the roses. So yeah, that looks to me very beautiful. As I said, as you've previously seen, I've highlighted the four keywords that stood out for me, and sort of more or less in each verse, more or less, there is a keyword that stood out for me. In verse 1, it's joy. And in verse 3, it is he made us and we are his. So the made us stood out to me. And in verse 4, the thanksgiving stood out for me. And in verse 5, the love stood out for me. So what I've done is I've got here the little tags, which I'm going to write the keywords on, and I'm going to anchor it, each one of them, one with the rose and one with the butterfly. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to get my black artist bit pen, and I'm just going to write the four words that stood out for me. As I said, first, joy. It's almost, to me, it was almost a recipe for how to live our lives. If we have joy, if our joy is in the Lord and we worship him with gladness, if we realize that we are made by him, that we are his creation and we are the sheep of his pasture, and if we live our lives with thanksgiving and give him praise, and if we realize that God's love is unfailing love and that he's always good, those four elements in our life, if we just realize those things and we live it out, I think we will have a wonderful and successful life, spiritual successful life. And yeah, it's just the joy, made us, thanksgiving and love that really, really stood out to me. I really recommend you to read it for yourself and to study it. So what I've done, as you said, I've just spread the various elements over the page, and I'm just busy sticking it on, the butterflies and the roses, just to anchor it, and just for the four verses, or the four words, just to stand out so I can remember it when I look back at this Psalm 100, which is a beautiful psalm, just the four things that stood out for me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do some personal journaling on there, and what I've write is on the joy, I said, let us shout for joy and with gladness. And the made us, I said, God, you made us, we are your people, we belong to you. And the thanks, I said, let us give your thanks and praise, let us praise your name. And the love, I said, love, Lord, you are a good God, and your love continues forever. What I'm doing is I'm just putting a tag at the bottom. It's just a tag, any tag I got from my stats. I just thought the gingham looks better than the roses. It stood out for me better. And I'm just going to write Psalm 100 on there, just obviously to make sure that stands out. And then I've got this very, very cute little pom-pom, which I'm I'm going to put on there. I've been waiting for a moment to be able to do that. So I'm just going to put that on the top of the page. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this page. It took very quickly and was a really fun page to put together. And yeah, I hope it means something to you. If you do, please like and subscribe. And I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.